Do you find yourself squinting more often, blaming it on too much screen time or just getting older? What if those little annoyances are actually quiet whispers from your eyes, trying to warn you about something more serious? Today, we're uncovering the subtle early signs of glaucoma that are incredibly easy to mistake for simple eye strain. Stick with me, because knowing these signs could save your sight. Glaucoma is often called the silent thief of sight, and for a chillingly good reason. It slowly damages your optic nerve, often without any noticeable symptoms in the early stages. By the time most people realize their vision is fading, a significant amount of irreversible damage has already been done. That's the scary part. The good news? If we catch it early, we can fight back. The problem is, many of its first clues are masters of disguise, looking exactly like everyday eye fatigue. Let's unmask them one by one. First up, needing more light to see clearly. Do you find yourself constantly reaching for the lamp switch or cranking up the brightness on your phone and computer? You might think your eyes are just tired, but this can be an early sign of optic nerve damage. Glaucoma can reduce your contrast sensitivity, which is your ability to distinguish objects from their background. So if reading a menu in a dimly lit restaurant feels like a mission impossible, don't just brush it off. Pay attention. Next, let's talk about intermittent blurry or hazy vision. This isn't the kind of blurriness that happens when you first wake up. We're talking about sudden temporary haziness that might clear up after you blink a few times or rub your eyes. You see clearly one moment, and the next it's like looking through a foggy window. This can be caused by fluctuations in your intraocular pressure, or IOP, which is a key factor in glaucoma. If this happens to you even occasionally, it's a signal you shouldn't ignore. Here's another tricky one. Difficulty adjusting to lighting changes. Do you feel momentarily blinded when you step outside into the sun? Or do you find it takes forever for your eyes to adjust when you walk into a dark room? This slow adaptation isn't just a quirky inconvenience. It can indicate early damage to the optic nerve fibers that are responsible for helping your eyes manage transitions between light and dark environments. If you feel like a vampire in the sun or stumble around in the dark for longer than others, it's worth noting. Have you ever seen rainbow-like halos or colored rings around lights, especially at night? While it might look kind of magical, it can be a warning sign. Seeing these halos around streetlights or headlights is often caused by swelling of the cornea due to high eye pressure, a classic indicator of certain types of glaucoma. It's your eye's way of sending up a flare, signaling that the pressure inside is getting too high. Don't just think it's a cool light effect. It could be a serious symptom. Now, let's move on to a sensation rather than a visual symptom: intermittent eye pressure or discomfort. This isn't necessarily a sharp pain. It's more of a mild, vague feeling of fullness, pressure, or a dull ache in or behind your eye. It's so subtle that you might dismiss it as part of a sinus headache or just general fatigue. But this sensation can be a direct result of elevated intraocular pressure putting a strain on your eyes. If you feel this recurring pressure, your eyes are trying to tell you something. Speaking of headaches, do you get dull, recurring pain specifically around your eyes or along your brow bone? It's easy to blame stress, lack of sleep, or even caffeine withdrawal. However, these specific localized headaches can be a sign of the strain caused by high pressure in certain types of glaucoma, like angle closure glaucoma. If your headaches seem to be centered right around your eyes, it's a pattern that warrants a closer look. What about your glasses prescription? Are you visiting your optometrist for a new prescription way more often than you used to? If you feel like your vision is constantly changing and you can't seem to get a prescription that lasts, it might not just be a sign of aging. Subtle changes in your eye's shape or the cornea, caused by pressure fluctuations from glaucoma, can lead to these frequent shifts in your vision. A rapidly changing prescription is a red flag. This next one is a hallmark symptom of glaucoma, but it's incredibly sneaky in the beginning: missing objects in your peripheral vision. Your peripheral vision is what you see out of the corner of your eye. Maybe you find yourself bumping into door frames more often, or you're startled by people who seem to appear out of nowhere right beside you. This happens because glaucoma typically starts by stealing your side vision first. Your brain is so good at filling in the blanks that you won't even notice the missing pieces until the loss is significant. This leads directly to the gradual narrowing of your visual field, often called tunnel vision. Imagine looking at the world through a tube that's slowly getting narrower and narrower. This constriction of your sight happens so gradually that it is almost impossible to perceive on a day-to-day basis. You adapt without realizing it. People often don't notice this symptom until it's in an advanced stage, which is why regular eye exams that specifically check your visual field are so critically important. Are you suddenly more sensitive to light? This is a condition called photophobia. If you find yourself constantly reaching for sunglasses, even on overcast days, or if bright indoor lights feel uncomfortably harsh, it could be related to glaucoma. The condition can affect the way your pupils respond to light or irritate the neural pathways, making your eyes overreact to brightness. So, if you're becoming more of a creature of the dark, it's another piece of the puzzle. Here's a sign that often gets misdiagnosed: a feeling of dry eye or ocular irritation. You might feel a burning, gritty, or something in my eye sensation that just won't go away, even with regular use of lubricating eye drops. While dry eye syndrome is a very common condition on its own, it can also coexist with glaucoma, or, in some cases, the symptoms can mask the early signs of pressure-related issues. If your dry eye isn't getting better, it might be time to investigate a deeper cause. Finally, let's talk about temporary vision disturbances. These are fleeting moments where your vision might seem to dim, flicker, or you see brief blind spots that resolve quickly on their own. It's so fast you might question if it even happened. These episodes can reflect fluctuations in blood flow to the optic nerve or spikes in eye pressure. Think of it as a temporary power surge or brownout in your eye's electrical system. These little flickers are significant warnings. So let's bring it all together. Needing more light, intermittent blurriness, trouble with changing light, seeing halos, eye pressure, headaches, frequent prescription changes, and losing your peripheral vision. Any one of these signs on its own is incredibly easy to blame on something else: fatigue, aging, stress, or too many hours staring at a screen. But when you see them as a potential pattern, the picture becomes much clearer and much more urgent. The single most important takeaway from all of this is that early detection is your best and only defense against glaucoma-related vision loss. Vision that is lost to glaucoma cannot be recovered. It's gone forever. And this is a huge but, if we catch it early, treatments like eye drops, laser procedures, or surgery can effectively slow or even stop the progression of the disease, preserving the sight you have left. This is why you cannot skip your comprehensive eye exams. And I don't just mean the part where you read the eye chart. A complete exam must include a check of your intraocular pressure and a direct, thorough examination of your optic nerve. Your eye doctor has the tools to see the silent damage long before you ever could. Don't wait for your vision to start fading. Be proactive. If any of the signs we talked about today sound familiar, please schedule an appointment with an eye care professional. It's a simple step that could make all the difference in the world. Thank you so much for watching and for taking this time to learn about your eye health. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content to help you stay healthy and informed. Share this with your loved ones. You never know whose sight you might help save. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.
Thanks for watching. Like, comments, and share.